This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important update to share with you. No government shutdown, which would have happened today, but there is a small delay. President Biden urges veterans to take advantage of the Healthcare PACT Act. And when it comes to one state, there could be another round of tax rebate stimulus checks. And I'll let you know the exact dates that $200 to $1,000 checks are going out to certain Americans, millions of them actually. And we're going to hear from Elizabeth Warren about good policy is good politics, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily, straight-to-the-point updates on matters that financially matter to you. So Senate passes one-week government funding bill averting a partial shutdown, which should have been today, but looks like it is just a one-week extension. So the measure gives lawmakers an additional week to negotiate and pass a comprehensive bill to fund the federal agencies through the fiscal year, which ends on September 30th, which means that this whole thing should have been done by September 30th, but they had another stopgap measure, basically extending the deadline. If only we could extend our bills, for a month or 3 months or however many months Congress members are doing it for, but things need to get paid. The Senate vote for the stopgap bill took place in the shadow of far more high-stakes negotiations currently underway over the massive omnibus spending bill. So basically, it's giving them until Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, the 21st, and after that, they probably might even have another stopgap measure. They need to get things done now, but they're probably going to get stuff done before their Christmas break because none of them want to stay during Christmas. Republicans, ideally, they would love to have it extended past January 3rd, which is when the new Congress comes in play and the Republicans own the House majority. But the Democrats, since they have majority, they want to maintain control. It seems like it's always a power struggle between the Democrats and the Republicans. President Biden urges veterans to apply for PACT Act's expanded health care benefits. So at a Delaware National Guard facility, President Biden on Friday urged veterans to take advantage of new healthcare opportunities under legislation he signed in August, known as the PACT Act, which helps veterans get screened for exposure to toxins. Basically President Biden went to this veteran center and was pushing that. And then New Mexico could see another round of tax rebates. What's said here is this would be a way to help assist families address some of the inflationary pressures that they've been feeling these last several months. So yeah, I know New Mexico had one a few months ago, but looks like it could be another one. We did get a revenue forecast just recently. I think it was on Monday, where it has moved upward about $2.5 billion in excess of our last year's budget to now $3.6 billion. So I think all of us want to act prudently and not assume that all those monies that are coming, that is the $3.6 billion, are really recurring money. So that is, on into the future, into perpetuity, essentially. So we need to be thinking about ways of utilizing those funds. That was really hard to read, really choppy sentences there. But so basically they might give out this extra money to New Mexicans, New Mexico people. I guess, it's New Mexicans, yeah. So it looks like tax rebates could go out there. And then let's go over the exact dates. So new batch of one-time payments from $200 to $1,050 going out in 24 hours. See if you're getting money by Christmas. So this is going on in California, the GSS, Golden State Stimulus. So basically with this, I'll give you the exact date. So people who did not get a Golden State stimulus check and have the last name beginning with A through K should get their payment by Saturday, December 17th. So A through K, Saturday, December 17th, which is today. And then those who didn't get a Golden State stimulus and have the last name beginning with L through Z will be shipped payment from the December 19th through December 31st. Direct deposit recipients who changed their banking information since filing 2020 tax return will get their cash between December 17th and January 14th. Direct deposit typically occurs within 3 to 5 business days from the issue date for those who are tracking their payment. So I'm curious, let me know down in the comments below, have you received your Golden State stimulus check if you live in California? Are you waiting for your check to come today, the 17th, or the 19th through the 31st, depending on your last name? Let me know, what's your status with those California stimulus checks? When it comes to good policy and good politics, take a look at what Elizabeth Warren has to say of what has been done and what will be done.
Thinking about the midterms and thinking about particularly this, which I think is the real telltale sign, how few Democratic incumbents lost. Not a single Democratic incumbent in the Senate, very few relative to other years in the House. Why was that? What did it have to do with the record of the bills they voted for?
Because we actually got out there, fought for working families, and delivered for working families. So even though it was just 2 years, and even though we had the skinniest possible majority in the Senate, we nonetheless, as Democrats, pulled together just enough to be able to deliver for working families. And that gave us something to run on in the midterms. It really is the reminder. Good policies are good politics, because these were good policies that we were able to deliver on. As you said, climate, $35 cap on insulin for seniors. We're going to get a $2,000 cap on how much seniors spend altogether annually on prescription drugs. We're able to talk about what we tried to do for people, what we are doing on reducing student loan debt. Just one after another, 15% minimum corporate tax on billionaire corporations. You know, these are the kinds of things that are not just popular among Democrats. They're popular among Democrats, Republicans, and independents. We showed that it is possible to put government on the side of the people. And what did the Republicans do by contrast? They screamed, they yelled, they said hateful things, but they had nothing. No ideas, not even promises of how they were going to help people have more opportunity and make their lives better. The Democrats had a darn good argument in the midterms.
The cap on insulin and generally prescription drug prices, I saw a bunch of polling from a bunch of pollsters that said that polled, you know, at 80% or and then across the board, right? This is like genuinely, I want to just indulge me a little bit of hypothetical pushing you, because I think you're right? So I think that basically there was a kind of Venn diagram between things that were popular and that were good policies. But there's also there was a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor. I think about this a lot. In that original Inflation Reduction Act proposal kept getting pared back. Now, I think the vast bulk of that would have been good policy and would have been better for the country. I also think it might have precipitated more political backlash, frankly. Like, it does seem to me there are points, and you know this as a senator, where you are trading off sometimes between what might be good policy and what might invite political backlash.
You know, I'm just not there with you on this one. I got to say, if we could have gotten universal child care, I think we'd have just had that many more people saying, I am all the way in. I want to go all the way on that. Again, because it is good policy. And that's the kind of thing we're going to be fighting for going forward. And again, it's all about delivering for people where they are, the things that make a difference. You know, for so long, the Republicans have run on the notion that government's bad, government's terrible. At best, government is inept. At worst, it's really actually doing harm. We're out there demonstrating exactly the opposite. We are showing that government can be on your side. Look right now, for example, on inflation. What do people across this country understand is one of the major causes of higher prices? Price gouging. And for the first time in what feels like forever, I mean decades and decades, we actually have an FTC and a Department of Justice that are trying to enforce the antitrust laws and really going after companies that are engaged in price gouging, going after this enormous concentration that has happened in industry after industry after industry. And this is one, even if people on Capitol Hill don't always get it, I guarantee the President of the United States gets it and the people across this country get it.
final question for you is on Jay Powell, the chair of the Fed.
Sure.
You've been critical of him, particularly the regulatory parts of his stewardship of the Fed. You I think, objected to his renomination. It was fairly controversial. I was always sort of a little ambivalent because I think he did a pretty good job on the monetary policy lever during the pandemic. He gave a speech today that was basically, to summarize, we're not stopping until we put this economy into recession. That's certainly how it sounded to me. And you have been very critical, but I got to say, what was going through your head as you heard him basically announce, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure more people are out of work?
Yeah, because that's exactly it. Can we just do the translation? When he says, I want to cool off the economy and we want to see a rise in the unemployment rate, my question back to him is just exactly how many people, how many millions of people do you want to see fired before you stop engaging in these extraordinary interest rate hikes that he has been doing? And, here's the thing you have to remember. The Fed just has this one tool, raise interest rates, and yet there are a whole lot of things that are causing prices to go up. We know that the pandemic, we know supply chain kinks, we know that price gouging, but we also know that raising interest rates, for example, is not going to bring down the cost of housing. It sure doesn't make it easier for somebody trying to buy their first house, and it doesn't make it easier for builders to come in and build new housing, which is what we need to bring those prices down. So I just keep trying to remind him there is a difference between landing a plane and crashing a plane.
And particularly
Stop
after yesterday.
with the big increases.
Yesterday's data made a soft landing seem possible, and I hope that we can get there. Senator Elizabeth Warren, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Me too.
And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you that something that you should really do. Like, if you make a mistake, learn by experience and make mistakes. And I see you in the next video. Hi guys. Monster I breathe in. Don't say that. Hi guys. I wish them breathe and breathe. I could. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. So it is just me and the girls today and tomorrow because my wife has a 48-hour shift. She's a nurse, works at the hospital. Now during a 48-hour shift, she's never done it before, but they give her a room that she could rest and sleep in. So I told her, I'm like, it's kind of like going to prison because you're just kind of stuck in this one place and, you got to work and it could be all hours of the day. There's no shifts during a 24-hour shift or during a 24-hour shift, let alone a 48. So she could be working a lot and sleeping whenever she can. So we're actually going to go visit her today, go meet her in the cafeteria of the hospital, give her some support during her lunch break. But at the same time, we're thankful that she has a job, she's working, she likes what she does, except when she works really long hours. But we're thankful for that. But still, it's a lot of hours away, to be working and away from the family. Anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, click right up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.